calculate the exact value of 1 over root 2 plus 1 over root 2I to the power 12. Okay, you want the exact value, it's not an approximation. Okay, so here let's write the question. So this is 1 over root 2 plus 1 over root 2I to the power 12. So this can be, as the denominators are same, I can write the next step as 1 plus I over root 2 to the power 12. So now you can distribute the 12, the power of 12, both to the numerator and denominator, so which can be written as 1 over root 2 to the power 12 times 1 plus I to the power 12. Okay, now this is, okay, I'll do the next step like this. This is nothing but 1 over root 2 times squared, the whole to the power 6, because it's power of power, you have to multiply, times 1 plus I to the power 12. Okay, so this is, now 1 over root 2 squared is nothing but half. So this is half to the power 6 times 1 plus I to the power 12. So this is nothing but 1 over 64 times 1 plus I to the power 12. Now you can expand this, of course, using binomial and get the answer. But there is a neat theorem called de Moivre's theorem. If you are an NCA student, you should be having this in your formula sheet. The de Moivre's theorem states like this: if n is an integer, then r cis theta to the power n is r to the power n cis n theta. So what we're going to do is we're going to change this complex number in polar form. Hopefully you know what is a polar form, so even if you don't know, I'll try to explain. So first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to change this into a polar form. So this is, say, your two axes. Say this is your real arm, which is your real number axis, and this is your imaginary axis. Now 1 plus I is a number. Suppose, let me draw, I think I'll draw this and then explain suppose this any complex number is in a plane. Any complex number is in a plane. Say this is your, let me drop a, this is the horizontal. Say, you should be knowing a little of physics. Suppose this is the horizontal. So this is your vertical and this is your horizontal component. So say this is 1 on the real arm and this is your I on the real arm. Okay, so this point is called 1 plus I. Okay, now this is, you are imagining not the xy plane, this is also called the z plane. So this is your complex plane or Argand plane is perpendicular to the xy plane. So I'm not going into that detail. Hopefully you understand that. I can't show, this is in a 3D way. So imagine a plane which is running perpendicular to this xy plane, and there's a point here which is 1 plus I, where 1 corresponds to the real arm and I corresponds to the imaginary arm. Okay, so here, to write in a cis form, this same thing can be written as, you have to find this. So we know this is 1, the magnitude, the distance from year to year is 1, and the distance from year to year is also 1. So I hope you understand this will be square root of 2 using Pythagoras. Okay, now using simple knowledge of triangle, this is a right angle isosceles triangle. So I can say these two sides are equal. So I hope you understand this should be 45 degree, which is in radians you write this is pi by 4. So this same point writing in polar form is root 2 cis pi by 4. I'm not going into the trig of this. So basically what you're saying is this point is at a radial distance of root 2, and if you go anti-clockwise, you have to turn 45 degree. So in other words, if you want to direct a person to this point 1 plus I, you are going to tell them from the origin, this is your origin, you walk a distance of root 2 at a angle or a radial or at an angle of pi by 4. Turn pi by 4 degrees anti-clockwise, and then you walk root 2 distance. I hope you understand that. So this and this are the same. So I'm going to write this next step like this. So let me bring back my blue pen. So this is 1 over 64 times 1 plus I as a polar form is root 2. Now again you may be confused. Cis stands for cos. Okay, so this is your horizontal is your cos and your vertical is sine. So let me just explain. Cis means cis pi by 4. Cis pi by 4 means this is cos pi by 4, okay, or root 2 pi by 4 plus I sine pi by 4. This is what it means. Okay, so you can write the, suppose if you write the root 2 outside, so this is, I'm getting very untidy. I don't like this untidy work. So root 2 cis pi by 4 in an algebraic way means this is root 2, C stands for cos pi by 4 plus I sine pi by 4. So now if you expand this, you'll get this back. Okay, I'm not going into that detail. So this is root 2 cis pi by 4. Root 2 cis pi by 4. Okay, now we have to use the Dimward's rule. What does Dimward's rule says? If it is r cis theta to the power n, then it is r to the power n cis n theta. So here you have got this 12 there. So we have to accept this. This is to apply this rule. The next step, let me go slightly up so that you can see the rule. So compare this rule with this. So you got 1 over 64 sitting there. You don't apply the rule there. You're applying the rule here. So this becomes root 2 to the power 12 because r to the power n, and cis n theta. Your theta is pi by 4. So your n is 12. So it is 12 pi by 4. Okay. Now we already know that root 2 to the power 12 is 64. So this is 1 over 64 times 64 times cis 3 pi. So this is nothing but 1 cis 3 pi. Now let us understand what does this mean. So when you're saying 1 cis 3 pi means you're saying the radius or the radial distance, I'll say radius, you go a radial distance of 1 and you have to turn how many degrees? Turn 3 pi. Now you should know 2 pi is 360 degrees. So let me delete this so that you understand. So when you're saying 1 cis 3 pi by 2 means you start here, okay, and you first turn 3 pi. So what does it mean? So this is your pi turn. Okay, this is your pi. This is, okay, let me delete this. So 3 pi, if you turn 3 pi from here, so this is your turn of 2 pi, and then you turn, this is 3 pi. From here, from the positive arm, you are turning, this is a term of, this is a turn of 2 pi. And then again you turn pi. So this whole turn, this is a turn of pi. So the whole turn is 3 pi. And you have to go one distance away. That means where will you reach? You'll reach nothing at -1. Okay, so this distance, you have to go a distance of -1 means you're going to the left of the origin. The positive distance is to the right. So as you have reached here on the negative arm of the x-axis, the answer of this is nothing but -1. Okay, and that's the amazing thing about understanding maths, that -1 means, this means you are at -1 on the x-axis because you're turning 3 pi.